What if I told you that seduction isn't something loud, flashy, or even entirely conscious but, instead, a quiet interplay of instinct and psychology? A woman who craves intimacy doesn't often say so outright. Instead, she expresses it through subtle gestures, body language that speaks in whispers, tonal shifts, or the kind of closeness that lingers a moment too long. These aren't random sparks, they're choreographed cues, sometimes deliberate, sometimes instinctive. Yet most men, distracted by ego or impulse, fail to notice them altogether. This is exactly where the Stoic man finds his edge. Stoicism isn't about detaching from life, but about mastering how you move through it. The Stoic doesn't react blindly to signals, he studies them with calm, clarity, and patience. Rooted in this ancient mindset, he develops the awareness to pick up on nuances that others overlook, and acts decisively only when the moment truly calls for it. And this isn't just philosophical theory. Psychological research confirms that attraction often plays out in micro-moments, expressions, glances, slight shifts in voice. Women especially are skilled in shaping these subtle cues, testing a man's attentiveness without stating their intentions directly. So, how do you pick up on these signals without overanalyzing or assuming too much? In this guide, we'll unpack 6 key signs a woman may be open to deeper connection, decoded through a psychological and Stoic framework. Each signal, when properly read, reveals not only her desire but your own ability to stay grounded in self-awareness. Let's break down the silent art of attraction. Stay composed, stay alert. The Stoic observes and knows when to act. Her gaze holds more than just a glance, it carries the weight of a silent story. Eyes, often called the windows to the soul, are far more than poetic symbolism. They're instruments of communication, connection, and at times seduction. A woman's sustained eye contact can convey admiration, interest, even desire. But the real challenge lies in reading these layers without losing composure. From a psychological lens, sustained eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the hormone linked with bonding. Locking eyes activates brain pathways associated with trust and emotional closeness. And often, entire conversations happen without a single word being spoken. While many men express attraction in a direct fashion, women tend to operate with greater subtle lingering, glances being one such example. Here's where Stoic presence becomes your secret weapon. A reactive man might leap to conclusions the moment he's met with a long look. The Stoic, he reads, reflects, and refrains from assumption. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. So what makes up the gaze of a woman who's physically drawn to you? Lingering duration. If her gaze lasts longer than 3 seconds, it's not accidentally, it's intention. Softened eyes, relaxed eye muscles often reflect warmth, comfort, and emotional openness. Dilated pupils, a hard to spot but reliable sign of interest and heightened arousal. Beyond the science, eye contact becomes a flirtatious game. She might glance your way, look away briefly, then back again quietly, testing if you're still focused on her. And the Stoic response. You return the gaze not nervously, not eagerly, but with calm steadiness. Don't rush to speak or act. That unspoken moment is not a command, it's a dialogue, one where silence says more than words ever could. She doesn't need to ask to be close, she simply finds ways to be. Proximity is one of the oldest and most instinctive languages of romantic interest. A woman who's drawn to you might not say it, but her positioning will do the talking. She closes the distance subtly, using space as a quiet while maintaining plausible deniability. Edward Hall, a pioneer in proxemics, categorized interpersonal space into 4 zones: public, social, personal, and intimate. When a woman consistently enters your personal space somewhere between 18 inches and 4 feet, it often signals comfort and curiosity, if not desire. But how do you separate coincidence from intention, recurring closeness? If she repeatedly chooses to be near you even with other options, it's deliberate. Body orientation. When her torso faces toward you, it's a subconscious sign of interest. Subtle touches, a light graze, a closer lean, or just enough newness to feel her presence, or quiet invitations. The Stoic man, guided by Seneca's teachings on patience, doesn't rush to interpret or react. He watches, waits, allows her signals to unfold naturally. He doesn't leap to conclusions, or worse, overanalyze them. Here's the twist. Your composed presence, free of neediness, actually heightens her interest. When she senses you're grounded, unshaken, it amplifies your allure. Timing also matters. If her proximity increases during laughter or emotional moments, it adds weight to her gesture. The Stoic remains centered, never overeager, and in Doing so, he speaks a language of stability one women instinctively crave. Her hands speak volumes, often more than her voice ever could. Touch predates speech in human communication. It's primal. A woman seeking closeness often initiates contact in ways that feel light, unintentional but are rich with meaning. Psychologically, even brief contact triggers dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals tied to connection and pleasure. And while men may be more direct, women often test the waters with subtle, fleeting touches first. Keep an eye out for these incidental grazes, a brush against your hand or arm seemingly accidental, often it's not. Anchoring touches, resting her hand on you mid-conversation, it's comfort, not coincidence. Playful pushes, accompanied by laughter, these signal chemistry and flirtation. Lingering contact, a touch that lasts just a moment longer than needed, speaks volumes. And how should you respond? Don't overplay it. As Seneca advised, receive pleasure, but don't cling to it. Your restraint demonstrates confidence. If you flinch or rush in too eagerly, you risk appearing insecure or needy. Stay balanced. There's a psychological concept called reciprocal touch. Our brains are wired to return physical contact. But the Stoic delays that response. He doesn't immediately mirror, he waits. That delay builds intrigue, control, power. By pacing your response, you signal emotional strength, a rare quality. In a world driven by instant reactions, the man who resists impulse stands apart. Her voice changes not in what she says, but how she says it. In social psychology, vocal modulation is a subtle yet powerful indicator of attraction. When a woman desires closeness, her tone often softens, slows, and becomes warmer, as if she's inviting you into a private moment. Have you noticed how lovers speak? It's not the words, it's the weight of the delivery. Lower volume, deeper tone, slower pace. These are cues of growing intimacy. Research in evolutionary psychology shows that when people speak to someone they're attracted to, they naturally lower their pitch. It's an instinctive signal of comfort, trust, and sometimes seduction. Listen for quieter volume. She speaks softer, encouraging you to lean in. Slower cadence, drawn-out speech that subtly asks for more attention. Playful tones, teasing inflections, hint at flirtation beneath the surface. Private shift, her tone with you differs from how she sounds with others, a clear sign. And the Stoic response, stay grounded. Let the shift register, but don't let it sweep you away. As Seneca said, be present, don't be everywhere, be here. Don't mimic her, but let your own tone slow just slightly, creating an unspoken harmony between you. That harmony, without eagerness, deepens the connection, without needing to say more. Teasing, mockery, light defiance. It's not conflict, a form of seduction. Some women flirt through challenge, not compliments. They playfully push back to test your wit, confidence, and composure. Teasing, according to studies in personality and social psychology, is a low-risk way of testing compatibility. It's relational play used to build chemistry. Signs of this flirtation style include mocking interests. You seriously like that band? Playful contradictions. No way you'd survive without your phone. Sarcastic jabs. Oh look, Mr. Stoic too cool for feelings. The key is in the tone and body language. If she's teasing with a sparkle in her eye and open posture, she's not challenging you, she's inviting you in. So how do you respond? Stay composed, smile, reflect her playfulness with quiet confidence. Never get defensive. Try this. Her, you think you're mysterious. You, I prefer enigmatic, but close enough. By responding without rattling, you show control, and nothing builds attraction like emotional mastery. She starts reflecting you, your posture, your pace, even your phrases. This is mirroring, and it's one of the most reliable subconscious signs of attraction. Thanks to mirror neurons, we're wired to connect through imitation. If she starts mimicking your behavior, it usually isn't calculated, it's instinctual alignment. Look for postural matching. You lean back, so does she. Gestural imitation. She mirrors your hand movements. Speech alignment. Her vocabulary, tone, or tempo begins to echo yours. Emotional tuning. Her mood subtly shifts in response to yours. What's it mean? Simple. She feels connected, aligned. Subconsciously, she's saying we're in sync. The Stoic response, don't exploit it, recognize it, respect it. Stay grounded in your authenticity. Seneca said be tolerant of others, but strict with yourself. Here's an advanced move. Use positive reinforcement. If she mirrors your body language, lean in slightly, signal closeness. If she mimics your phrasing, acknowledge it playfully. Careful, you're starting to sound like me. Stay calm, stay real. Let the connection unfold. So there it is. 6. subtle, powerful, psychological,